This information you are about to hear and perhaps view, these are not necessarily the thoughts or the ideas of Gary C.Clement or the Gary Clement Radio Show podcast. We are in no way, shape, or form affiliated with the parties this story is about or was interviewed for. Parts of this content may not be owned by or the property of the Gary Clement Radio Show podcast, D2 Network Media, or any other company we are affiliated with, and this information is strictly the opinion of those being interviewed. This content is for information purposes only, and although we may make reference to various news stories, we share our own independent beliefs about the content and provide our own opinions. Please enjoy the information. Hi, my name is Gary C. Clement, and welcome to the Gary Clement Radio Show and podcast. And today we are very excited because we have a duo out of Rockford, Illinois, by the name of Kendall Joanz and Evan Bendel, better known to the world as Joanz B. Combining hip-hop, R&B, pop, and even some Latin sounds, these guys are making waves in the industry. And here they are. How are you all today?
Man, doing well. Blessed to be able to be alive and see another day.
I'm originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Came to Rockford, Illinois around 2016 when I met KJ, which is Joanz, through a mutual friend. Said mutual friend knew I could sing and knew KJ had started in the industry as a lyricist. And you bring us together. You know, we started in a studio listening to each other and flowing off of each other and made an amazing track. And from there, it was just, you know, a roller coaster ride to get to where we're at now. My name, B, B3E, I know the 3 is in there again, but the 3 stands for third time's the charm, right? It took me 3 times to really get to the place mentally, physically, spiritually, as far as the music is concerned, where I'm at now. So that's where the 3 comes into B. And then I'll let KJ, or rather before letting KJ go, we've made amazing music. You know, we craft ourselves and we make sure that we have a timeless sound that just doesn't hit your ears once, but it continuously loops your ear, makes you want that thing on a repeat. And it's been a journey, but it's been a fun journey. It's been many lessons learned, and we value the time that we have and the music that we make. But I'll go ahead and pass it over to Joanz, and he'll tell you where his side comes from.
Sure.
So yeah, he pretty much wrapped it up as far as what we are, what we bring as an alternative soul duo. As far as my background goes, you know, he explained the backstory as far as a mutual friend putting us together, putting us in play. I was just in a place of, you know, trying to get sounds that I heard in my head or melodies that I heard in my head out, and I would try them, even though I'm not, you know, the best vocalist. You know, I'm not a B, so I would try them, and it didn't hit. It didn't hit right, you know. And you could play with it as much as you want on a computer to make it sound how you want it to sound, but when it's not authentic and it's, you know, those true vocals on it, it just brings a different, you know, flavor to the whole thing. So when I heard B, we got into the studio and I heard B for the first time in person versus just hearing the tracks he had, it sparked that his voice it had range. There's no bound to it. He could do whatever he sets his mind to. And with how I cultivate different songs and come up with different things, it's a iron sharpen iron situation for us where, you know, I challenge him and he challenges me. You know, there's different songs and you know, R&B genres of songs are, you know, just slower in general, or some are even up pace, and he's talking about something that I normally wouldn't even, not even necessarily bring myself to write about, but it's just something that I may not be going through at the time. So it challenges me to put myself in more of a on the fly type of freestyling situation, because that's what I've watched B do for so long. He just comes up with things on the fly, and you know, the writing is rubbed off on him. Like, we rubbed off on each other in more ways than one. So the writing is rubbed off on him, and he's rubbed off on me with the freestyling because it shows a different side of expression.
Hmm.
So it's again an iron sharpens iron situation that constantly sharpens our crafts, both of her. And then when we bring it together, it brings a whole different sound that we coined the phrase to call it alternative soul.
I see. Okay, great, great. So influences, who do you all listen to kind of, grasp some of the, some of the music that you do?
So spent if we started listing all of our influences, we'd be on the phone for hours because there's
Hmm.
so many of them. However, just to break it down, we model after the greats, those that have come before us, whether it be groups or individuals, down from the rap game to the soul to the R&B aspect of things, and it plays a huge part as far as how we dictate our music and how we, um, as far as a group, come together and make the sound that we make. However, saying that, we also like to say that we stay out of the box and the realm of trying to sound like other people, and we pay attention to other sounds that have come before us and sounds that are out now, and we sway away from that because we want to make our own sound, which we have, and we want to make sure that that's something that can't be replaced or something that can't be repeated or copied. So though we have so many influences, from many genres, from many great legends and people that are here now, we make sure that we strategize and sound as ourselves.
I see. Okay, all right. This first song is entitled "Well Known." What's the story there?
So this is KJ speaking, Jones. Well known is a it's a it really it's one of those plays on the mind type of thing. It makes you think, especially after you watch the video. The video really captures exactly in detail what we're trying to showcase as far as well known. It's a play on the fact of what artists decide to show and what fans think is real. So it's about showcasing everything that artists to go well known and the bad parts, the good, the ugly, the things that artists may want to just gloss over as if it didn't happen, whatever the case may be. Jones and B is going to give you the transparent truth. We're going to let you in on exactly what we went through, exactly what it takes for us to be well known, and some of the things that artists don't show their fan base or don't showcase to the world are the biggest parts that boosted them into the position that they're in now. So it really shows everything as far as, different interviews, jumping from that to getting the video shoots done, jumping into the studio. But you got to realize that all these artists weren't making the money that they were making immediately as they started. So we're jumping from all those different things right back into making how we make our money, everyday life, work, whatever the case may be, door dashing, whatever we can do to make some money to be able to help and come or be able to ultimately survive while still trying to be well known. So that's really all it's about, showing the real transparent truth behind, grinding to be at the top.
Cool. Okay. So as far as other songs on the project, can you talk a little bit about those?
So, as far as a project, uh, right now we're just focused on our single, not really at the project stage right now. However, there are tracks that in the future we would be looking forward to adding to an album or whatever direction we may go to. But right now we're just solely focused on the well known.
I see. Okay, cool. So when we look at today's industry, it's changed a lot from how things used to be done and whatnot in the past. What do you all like about this social media world we live in now?
This is KJ speaking. It's a love hate relationship. It's changed a lot. It's changed the human interaction. It's changed how we perceive people's lives. It's changed a lot. And that's also where well known the song comes into play because social media has a big role in what these artists allow to be seen or showcased. And that's what we're talking about. They don't reveal all the ups and downs of, their life story. And that's what social media is. Everyone revealing their highlights of their life. And you have people on there that keep it real. Yes, they got highlights, but they also reveal them when they, are in a slump. And that's exactly what Joanz B is trying to do with Well Known. Show the highlights, but also show the lessons or losses that people like to call it losses, but we call it lessons. Um, Showcase all of that. And I think social media has really messed with the I guess take on everyone's lives and how they're representing themselves because people don't understand that what goes up on social media stays there forever and it comes back to bite you. So you have to be mindful of what you're doing. And I understand that part and what you're posting. So you don't want to reveal too much, but you also don't want to be fake.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to put out a facade. So I just think that, social media, it's a give and take because it's done so many great things for people. It's a love-hate relationship because it's done so many great things. So many people, it's brought so many people opportunities, platforms that they, may not have been able to reach before, or people, an audience they may not have been able to reach before. You're able to interact with your fan base way more than you ever could back in the early 2000s. So it's a love hate. Everything's gonna have pros and cons, but as long as those cons outweigh as long as those pros outweigh the cons, you're rolling in the right direction. So I just think we need to balance it out. We're getting to a point to where it's becoming unbalanced. We need to get back to that balance. That's my take on social media right now.
Right, I see. Okay, great. So when it comes to the business aspects now compared to how I guess you could say, a lot of artists, did years ago where they were controlled pretty much by record and entertainment companies. Now I'm pretty sure that you all pretty much are owning this, product, products or whatnot yourself. You're in control of everything. How do you feel about that?
So being in the industry and being fresh to the industry right now, we're learning a lot of new things and getting a lot of confirmation from the research of things that we've done. So with applying the knowledge that we've already known and applying the knowledge that we pick up along the way, I just feel like there's a balance between business and a balance between relationship. And what we've come to learn is you got to really drown out the relationship aspect of everything when it comes to the industry and the business. It's strictly business. So you got to really push out all the what I like to call blowing smoke because that happens a lot in this game. A lot of people are gonna blow smoke up your way and gas up your head with big words and big events, big numbers, whatever the case may be. But you really have to understand the terminology that is within the black and white. Um, I really feel like the industry has shifted, from the power of the labels right now to the power of the artist. Because without the art, it's a 50-50, and that's what these labels need to understand. That's what the industry needs to understand. Without the artist, the label's nothing. Without the label, the artist needs that engine, so the artist is nothing. It's a hand-in-hand thing. But one thing I'm seeing and one thing we're learning is our voices can be heard. Our voices can be heard, and they have to listen to us right now. So the more as a collective, and you're seeing it every day, you're seeing a lot of artists
Hmm. I see. Okay.
game. It's just falling back into the hands of the artist right now, and I'm honestly loving it.
I see. Okay. And I'm looking through here to see again, like I said, the styles of music that you all do, which are alternative soul, hip hop, R&B, pop, and Latin. Would you say that the majority of your listeners so happen to be Afro American, or are they Caucasian and Latinos as well, or who's listening to your music?
So we make a product that can be heard and sold to the world, right? We don't chase after a certain demographic or a certain creed or color, topic, ethnicity. We make music for all aspects of life. Okay, so just like Michael Jackson or Prince, and who made music that anyone can come to. You had people from third world country. You had just everything, as far as the population, the group, the entireness of a collective group of people that could listen to the music. So we strive to make a sound that is diverse so that anybody can come and listen to it and understand it and be able to move and groove and vibe with the sound that we make. So we all walks of life, from every ethnic origin. We have people that are fans and that listen to the music.
I see. Okay, cool. And advice for other young people who want to get involved in this kind of thing, in this business or whatnot. What's your advice to them?
You know, and this is KJ speaking. We always like to close out every interview with a positive note to upcoming artists or um, people coming up in their own crafts in general, not even just to artists, just people in general that are trying to better their crafts. The only way you're going to make some noise is if you open your mouth. No one's going to know what you're doing and how you do it if you don't showcase that, if you don't broadcast it to the world. Um, don't be afraid to be different, stand out. A lot of stuff today is just a copy of the last, and it's gonna that repeated cycle of just playing off of the last person that made it is only gonna put you in a lane and on their wave. You're only gonna be on that one lane, unless you decide to take, and this is what Joanz B always does. Take a little bit from each and every person that came before you. Look at what they did wrong. Look at what they did right. Take a little bit of all of it, because you can learn just exactly what not to do from a negative role model. So you can learn from their failures, learn from their successes, and take all of that and cultivate it and sprinkle in your own little flavor on it, and make your own way from it. So don't be afraid to be different. Research everything there is to know about your craft. Critique everybody that's in that realm, that field that you're trying to get into, and really question what makes them better than you, what makes them stand out more than you right now, what put them on, all this, that, and the third. And you have to it has to be a healthy balance of competition and respect. It has to be a healthy balance, because without competition, this game will fall. But without respect, this game will also fall. So you got to respect the people that came before you, but it's also a competition, because you're now in a realm of things. Once you get there, you're competing with these people. You're competing for the attention, the time, the opportunities. So really, really take all of that, take everything you can, research it. I can't say that enough. Make sure you know exactly what you're getting yourself into, especially before you sign your John Hancock on anything. Once you put that signature down, you're locked in. So make sure you know what you're getting yourself into, man, and don't be afraid to be different.
I see. Okay, cool. So for those who want to connect with you all to learn more about you all as a group and your music, on social media, how do they reach you?
So we made it pretty simple and pretty direct. So it'll be Joanz and B, Joanz, and B3E, not pronounced B3E, pronounced B. And that's on every social media outlet. That's on every media outlet, whether you want to see our faces and listen to the music or just listen to the music. We're everywhere that you can search and type in. And once you're there on Instagram itself, all of our, make sure you click the bell, make sure you got your notifications set to on. That way you know what's coming up next, what tour dates are coming up next, what merch is about to sell, when the tequila comes out. We got so much in store for the fans. So that's, again, Joanz and B, Joanz, and B3E, not pronounced B3E, just B.
Okay, great.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. And I was going to ask you too about upcoming performances, tours. What's happening exactly?
Oh yeah, like he said, man, Joanz B3E, not pronounced B3E, but B on all platforms. Go hit that notification bell so that way you can be uploaded and updated on everything that we got coming up. As far as these upcoming months of August and September, we definitely got a couple festivals lined up. So make sure you get over there, follow us, and click that bell to find out exactly where to get the tickets and where we'll be.
We really do appreciate our guests who participated in this episode, and we hope you learned something that will bless your day and your life. For all who are interested in learning more about the Gary Clement Radio Show podcast, please visit www.amazon.com and order my book, The Gary Clement Radio Show, When Strong Afro-American Men and Women Stand Up. It covers everything about us and features a variety of Afro-American personalities who speak out about the importance of education and literacy in the Black community. Well, we thank you for tuning into our podcast. Please send us your email address so we can contact you when we have new releases and new episodes and new projects as well. You can reach us at gccpresents@yahoo.com. And also, if you're interested in submitting any materials or want to get in touch with us, please do so by simply sending an email to gccpresents@yahoo.com. That's G as in Gary, C as in Charlie, C as in Charlie,